Welcome to the Finance Leaders Podcast, where we explore ideas, strategies, and conversations that are changing the way financial professionals serve their clients, build their businesses, and create greater income, authority, freedom, and impact. Because the future of financial advice will not be built by simply doing more. It will be built by those ready to break free and help others keep what is theirs.
Welcome to the Finance Leaders Podcast. Today, I'm joined by Michael Mandarino, founder of 123 Insurance. Michael is a West Point graduate and an experienced advisor serving the high net worth individuals and families and business owners. Michael, welcome to the show.
Thanks, Daniel. Glad to be a part of the show again.
It's awesome. Hey, Michael, the reason I wanted you to come on the show is because of the success that you had working with Ascendium Partners, and I wanted you to kind of share a bit of your story of what that experience has been. So before you kind of started working with Ascendium Partners, tell us a little bit about your business. Where was it at that point?
Yeah. So I've been an insurance agent since 2002. So going on 25 years next year. I love selling life insurance. I initially started selling whole life insurance. Then started selling variable universal life, and then morphed into index universal life and whole life. And so I sell a lot of different types of insurances. And what's been really a blessing since I've been meeting with you guys is, and even though I've been an advisor for 24 years as an insurance agent, seeing some of your products that are cutting edge, and bottom line up front, my two largest cases ever were written since I joined you guys. In fact, they're 3 times greater commission in those two policies than any of my other policies before. So, and that was probably some of the easier policies I've ever worked with because the team and the way how you had that structured and set up.
And just to bring in context, we're not going to get into the exact figures. We're talking 6 figures here. We're not talking 3 times 4 figures or 5 figures. So no, that's awesome. Now, so before you started with us, like what was going well, and where did you feel that you were still kind of held back a little bit?
So with the new methodologies that we've learned since working with Ascendium Partners, for me it was, I used one of my cases I work with in addition to those other two. I had some clients. He was actually a doctor out of Texas, and I've been trying to work with him for about 6 years, almost 7 years now, because I bought a variable universal life book of business, and he had a policy of 2 policies, $2 million each, but he wasn't funding one of them. So, every time you do your review, you see that policy is going to lapse because he only funded it one time. And he didn't keep funding it with his bonuses. So when I saw that, I've always wanted him to convert that over to an index universal life. But, over those 7 years, wow, did his premiums change? It made a lot of difference. And then when we showed him one of the newer methods, it was a no-brainer for him and his wife. So we actually did a full 1035 exchange into his new policy. And not only we stopped funding the policy, but it's not the $20,000 to $30,000 of premium that he was going to need to be if we were going to convert that, just a straight math conversion to a newer policy. So very, very unique. And for me, that was just amazing win because I've had multiple conversations like, all right, you got to do something. And then when I started working with the Ascendium Partners, I found out, yep, this is the perfect fit for him. And it was.
Yeah, no, you bring out a great point. We call it the acres of diamonds. And I personally believe that every advisors, they have a lot of tools to their disposal, but they don't know how to turn those tools into an asset. And one of the concepts, and you just mentioned that, is going back to your clients that maybe you have done something with them and looking at their situation from a little bit different perspective and seeing that maybe what can be done. And the solution that you're talking about is the AMP solution that we have. Yes. Is to really help them to amplify what they already have. Like we're not looking at just to go and replace something for the sake of replacing. It's like, how can we better that situation that they're in? And I think this is kind of what you're mentioning, right? That individual situation wasn't just like, well, we just kind of made it a little bit better. I think you pretty well increase the result and the benefit of what they will end up with.
Absolutely. For me, what's also really interesting is that, I did pre-sale the individual. So I want to make sure they are warmed up to having a second consultation, because that's the one thing with the AMP solution is you do partner with a group. So it's not you that has to be the expert, but, I brought that warm lead And I can definitely say those are probably the 6 easiest appointments I've ever had, because you just sit back, you listen, and then you help out if there's a couple points that the consultant you may be working with that you want to make sure your clients emphasize, because you're the ones that personally own the relationship with the clients. It was, again, some of the easiest appointments I've ever had, and easiest money I've ever made, because they hand it off. They do everything. They do it from the appointment. They do the information gathering. They'll have their team doing all the schedule ops. They'll schedule all the parameds. And the last thing I had to do was make sure that the policy was issued and, receive the ACH that came into my account. So
Yeah.
pretty easy.
Yeah. No, you're talking about the partnership that we can go and form with advisors. And put it that way, one of the reasons why I built Ascendrium and why we're building this is I wish that I had that when I was in the business. I called myself a recovering CFP because I thought getting my CFP designation is going to change my business, and really didn't make much of a change. But having this opportunity, not only the commissions are higher, but as you mentioned, often you have partners that will do most of the work, and you can focus on building that trust and relationship with that individual. But now you got more time to actually go and find more individuals that can go and bring to that solution. So ultimately, you're able to have a much bigger effect and much bigger kind of making much bigger difference with your ideal clients, right?
You can, Daniel. And the other thing to really notice is it's the team aspect that you have behind the group. So, as a solo practitioner, I run my own business. I have assistants that work with me. I have a couple other agents I've partnered with. But, I also look at some of these policies, they need to have a look every single year at a minimum. So, I'm 52 years old. I plan on living to 150, but, at some point I may want to slow down working. But what's nice is the team that we have behind that, they are the ones that are going to actually do all the maintenance on the account as well. So I really like that fact, because, this isn't just a straight one and done type of life insurance plan. There's a lot of detail, a lot of follow up, a lot of management needs to go on it. And that our team at Ascendrium and the people and the companies we partnered with, they're the ones going to handle that. So for me, it also gives me a peace of mind to have my clients know that, God forbid, if something happened to me, I'm not the main point of contact that's going to help manage his case for the rest of their lives.
Yeah, you bring out a great point, and I think this is the challenge that a lot of advisors have, right? Like, there is two sides of the business. There is the part that I think most of us as advisors got into the business. We just are passionate about helping people and helping their situation. But if you focus 100% of that time, then you're not running a business, because the other part of it is, how do you get out there and actually meet more people, right? And this is where I think this is a perfect fit for a lot of the advisors we partner up with, where they can kind of have the both, right? Like, they can go and build that relationship with that individual, but they don't have to worry about with all of the follow-up, making sure that there are, that case is taken care of. And we do have some situations where the partner went to a second meeting on the renewal. The advisor wasn't even on there. And those individuals were like, hey, you know what? We want to go and put another $1 million each into a policy. And literally, that advisor wasn't even on the call. And he almost made 7 figures in commissions, right? So those are the type of stories we love to share. And those are the potentials within somebody's network when they're working with us.
Well, when my reviews happen next year, I'm hoping you can talk about my cases as well, then.
Yeah. Well, that's the whole thing, right? You don't know. And I think when it comes down to, for you as an advisor, you want to go and do your best job and you want to build the best relationship with them. It's not that the clients don't trust you, but you know what? There are so many things that happen in the financial industry that sometimes they don't necessarily disclose everything they have until they can go and build that trust. And when they see how we work and how we go and take care of the clients on the renewals and during the year, there is a little bit more of that trust, and they see what's actually happening. They're a lot more open to do more things with and share with you what other things that they have, right?
Yes. Yep. Very true.
So when it comes down to, like, if you were in front of an advisor and they were asking you, hey, Michael, you know what? I've heard of Ascendrium, kind of know what they do. What would you tell that advisor?
I'd say if you have the availability to get on Daniel's podcast, number one, take advantage of the promotion that they provide. And I love that your give back, Daniel, when we first met, is your give back to other advisors to help them promote. But more importantly is when you can have teamwork, that there's different cases whether it is the AMP solution or other high technical cases. I love the fact that you have your team behind you, that you're there available to help cases. So I'd say show up on some of the discovery calls. Obviously, do a discovery call. Also, I know you guys do a couple weekly calls as well. Those are also really good learning, especially if you're a brand new agent. I would send all my brand new agents to those calls because I know Jeffrey Thompson does a really, really good job of teaching the aspects of selling life insurance and also the salesmanship behind selling life insurance and how to get in front of more affluent individuals.
Yeah. No, I appreciate you, mentioning that. I know that there are a couple of things that you're working on, and there is the qualified AMP that you're working on, and some of those cases potentially could be even into the seven-figure range when it comes down to commissions and how things were. And again, as you mentioned, we do have different strategies. And again, it's not about the commissions. It's not about the strategies. Really, at the end, it's helping that client to have and be in a better situation that they were at. And personally, we're both faith-based. We kind of believe it. It's not just taking care of the first or second generation. It's actually taking care of the third generation. And I think a lot of the strategies using amplification, using leverage, you can actually go and completely change somebody's really legacy for them and their family.
And there's probably, Daniel, the point is, you're 100% right, is that most high net worth individuals, if not almost all of them, have built their wealth using leverage. Whether that's leverage to buy a company, whether that's leverage to buy their first rental property. So when you can introduce leverage into an insurance plan, or take the qualified AMP and look at, okay, you're 4 or 5 years away from taking your RMDs. What are your thoughts to that? Oh, I'm scared. I don't want to pay the taxes in it because there's so much money. And of course, you and I both know when you look at a traditional IRA or 401k statement, it really should be worth 70% less, because that's truly, after taxes and Uncle Sam takes the hit, that's normally what it's worth, unless you work with individuals like our team and do the qualified AMP. So you can start removing those assets out of a qualified plan and put it into a tax efficient vehicle like life insurance.
Yeah. No, that's great. So listen, I've got a question for you. So how would you see your business, or where would your business be different today if you had not made the decision to join Ascendrium Partners?
Well, I know I've already increased my revenue this year by 80% since I've joined your team. So pretty excited about what it looks like moving forward. And again, it's the case studies the cases we have still in the pipeline as well.
Yeah. So what kind of surprised you the most about the experience and started working with us?
For me, it's being an advisor for almost 25 years, that you think you know everything, and then you see these new plans that you've never heard of. And the best thing is there's no one else talking about it. So I really feel it's on a cutting edge. I love doing marketing with webinars, and I'm looking forward to partnering with you guys to do these webinars, just to be able to get the word out, because there's so many good opportunities. And most importantly is you're helping the individuals. You're helping them create a legacy. You're helping them not pay taxes, potentially, depending on how it's structured, or reduce their taxes, especially in their qualified plans.
Yeah. No, that's really great. Hey, Michael, thank you for being so open about your experience and the journey that you have been on, and congratulations on everything that you have accomplished. And really, thank you for trusting, me on that first call that we had, the podcast together. I remember we did 2 of them actually together. It was really great getting to know you and how you operate and the people that you help. And again, allowing us, to really be part of, of this journey.
Yeah, thanks, Daniel. It's been a blessing, and I'm excited about what the future holds for us.
Yeah. So if you're an independent advisor who believes there is more opportunity inside of your business than you are currently capturing, I'm hoping that Michael's story should challenge you to ask the one important question: what might become possible with the right people, environment, and support around you? So thank you for joining us on the Finance Leaders Podcast. Until next time, keep what is yours and break free, and continue building business, wealth, and life you don't need to escape from. We'll see you next time on the Finance Leaders Podcast. Thank you again, Michael.
Thanks, Daniel. God bless. Take care. Thank you.
Thanks for joining us on this episode of the Finance Leaders Podcast. Be sure to follow Finance Leaders for more conversations with the people, ideas, and innovations helping shape what comes next in financial advice. Until next time, keep challenging conventional thinking and keep leading.